So is XDefiant worth it? I mean, the game is out in a closed beta right now, but I did get a chance to try it out. Let's just say the best word I can think of for this game is potential. Potential because under the right circumstances, I had a good time. But unfortunately, most of the time, I was just really frustrated thanks to the really bad netcode. Some quick backstory on the game. XDefiant is a first-person shooter that's going to be free to play. The game is published by Ubisoft and is their answer to Call of Duty, which had a great MW2 release, but is losing steam slowly season after season, when it comes to their community rightfully being pretty unhappy with the state of the game ever since launch. XDefiant here says no skill-based matchmaking, gives you map voting, and has that whole sweaty fast movement the old Call of Duty games had. I don't want to make this video entirely about Call of Duty though, because as much of a COD vibe you get with this game, it's really not Call of Duty, and it's unfair to really compare it as that. The things I mentioned though are kind of like a Call of Duty fan's wet dream. It's everything they've been asking for that Activision isn't giving them. The beta for me was in a really rough state at first, and I admit it did get better, but it wasn't something that I was really itching to come back and play. I'm just going to come out and say, I think XDefiant has a lot of potential to be a good game, but what worries me here is Ubisoft and the amount of issues that the beta had. Before everyone gets on my head and is like, I know this is why betas are for, this is, they're for testing, of course it's going to have issues. I've been playing games for a long time, guys, and no matter how many betas I go through or how many betas a game has, for some weird reason, it always comes out in some crappy state. It'll either have brand new bugs that weren't in the beta or bugs that just carry over. Also, just keep in mind, this is a live service game by Ubisoft, who doesn't really have the best track record when it comes to this kind of stuff. Since the game is an FPS multiplayer shooter, I'm just going to do a quick summary of what makes this one different. You do get to customize your loadout, which is a cool feature. It's tied to that whole old school progression thing, which is something that I like. So to give an example, the more you use the M4, the more you're unlocking attachments for it. The game lets you pick a faction to play as, which is a group from other Ubisoft titles. I like that. It gave it some personality. It also gives it variety. It gives it abilities, kind of like Overwatch. Every faction has about 2 different unique abilities. You're getting things like fire ammo or healing and a shield, basically. You get an ultimate, kind of like the Splinter Cell silence pistol. I hate to compare it to Call of Duty again, but if you've played Black Ops 4, think the same thing. The maps are, they're good. They're not anything for me that's too memorable. They're 3-lane maps. There's a lot of like peeking, corners, high ground. I did get spawn trapped on a few, but that's just how first-person shooters are. Once people figure out how to exploit it, that's what happens. It's something that hopefully will get worked out. There was a couple maps that I kind of got annoyed with, one of them being one of the construction site maps. But I was mainly playing Domination, which might explain why I was getting spawn trapped. But that's the game mode that I like the most. You get an escort mode, kind of like Overwatch again. Hot Shot is like their kill confirmed. And there is a ranked and basically unranked mode that they just released. So far, the modes are good. I do hope a team deathmatch comes out because that's something I like to play as well. And they have also added map voting, which is a really cool comeback feature. If there's maps that the community hates, it's really cool that everyone can just vote to skip. So far, when it comes to the guns, I don't really see anything that's too overpowered. You do get variety when you're playing the game. The movement is fluid. It's arcadey, just like they promised. There's no skill-based matchmaking, and overall, that's definitely a good thing. The game devs basically went through a Call of Duty subreddit and just hit all of this as their main points. Day 1 of the beta was, as usual, a struggle. The game took 5 or 6 minutes to find a match, and it just overall felt real buggy at first. I did talk about netcode, and it's something that I'm just going to bring up a lot because it's my main issue with this game. Way too many times you're going to get killed by some wanted style bullets that are just curving around corners because the game didn't register that the guy that shot you actually killed you till you ran past cover and thought you were safe. It happens a lot. It's super frustrating, especially the first day. And I'll admit it did get better later as the beta went on, but it just kept happening so much and it really just pulls you out of the game. I did do some research though, and the devs do know about it. They'll be fixing it when the game is out, or I think when it's in the open beta. But I'm not gonna lie, it definitely soured my experience, and I didn't really get to have as much fun as I thought I'd have during some matches. Another issue that I noticed with the game is that you're basically gonna just see 2 factions the entire time. The one that has the extra health, which I think is from the Division, and the Splinter Cell operatives, which are the most overpowered in the game. The extra health is annoying as hell though, because basically when people activate that, they're almost unkillable. And the Splinter Cell guys get to basically see you through walls, track you down for a pretty easy kill. I mean, the game lets you know that you're spotted, so it gives you a chance to kind of hunker down and avoid it. But the pistol kills so damn fast, and I mean, good luck, because usually another teammate's usually with those people. You're not getting kill streaks here, which is something I actually like, considering everyone gets those ultimate abilities. And I don't think anything in the game besides the healing is too overpowered or unbalanced. I think that actually could be just tweaked a little bit. But I mean, even the maps that are coming out in the game, I mean, it's 14 total, which is just a huge bonus. So far, it all sounds like a great time besides hit registration, which hopefully will get better with the full release. With this being a free game though, I'm a little worried we're going to have factions hidden behind a paywall, making the game more like pay to win or something. I'm also worried about the level of support that the game will get, just because I don't want this becoming like another Hyperscape fail, because the game at its core I think is actually pretty good and fun, especially if you want an arcade style shooter. Most likely when it comes to like their shop, I mean, they're going to add some cool skins for cash, especially that battle pass. I mean, if you want to play a Sam Fisher or something, that's probably available for you to buy. I don't think that's as bad though, but because hear me out, I mean, you're not getting an annual release that's going to delete all of your skins. So if you do get a skin that you like and you do like playing this game, it's not going anywhere, unlike Call of Duty, where I hate to bring up Call of Duty again, but you buy a cool skin and tough luck, it's gone next year when you're trying to play the new game. I mean, as much as the game frustrated me at times when it came to netcode, when things worked out, I did have fun. The skill-based matchmaking isn't there, so I mean, you're not getting punished by it constantly after kicking ass in a match. You'll get stomped sometimes, and sometimes you'll do the stomping. I think it's great. The game isn't as punishing, and I think the way the devs are dealing with the beta is just a really good sign. They unlock things as an apology for the release. You're getting 14 maps on release, I mean, which is huge, honestly. There's gun customization, I mean, you get the snappy movement, and they're promising to fix this whole netcode issue. I can't say that I'm not a little excited to see, I mean, how this one's going to work out for Ubisoft, because I think they really need a hit. So overall, I mean, is this one worth downloading? I think if you like FPS games, and if you want that old school arcadey feel, download the SteelSeries GG app on PC, it's free. Or you can just watch some Twitch streams, I think, and get a code, and you can give it a shot yourself. When it comes to the gameplay, I think the game is fun at its core. There isn't too much balance tweaking that needs to happen. But I think if the game doesn't really sort out the netcode issue, I don't think it's going to last long. To wrap things up, has anyone here played XDefiant? What do you think? I mean, I wasn't too excited for this one. It did fly under the radar. But after a week of playing, I mean, I'm a little more excited than I was. But like I said earlier, netcode might make or break this. But they are on the right track to basically carve out their own space here in the whole first-person shooter genre. So that's it for this video. If you made it this far, be sure to drop a comment, hit the like, hit subscribe if you don't want to miss a video. We hit over 100 subscribers recently, which is a huge milestone for me. I didn't think I'd get here. I didn't think 100 people gave a fuck about what I had to say about video games. There's going to be a lot more videos coming soon. I do have one in the works right now. I'm actually going back to an old game to kind of re-review it, considering there's been some updates. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.